Republican North Carolina Congressman Richard Hudson has introduced the Reciprocity Bill again. That is, concealed handgun license holders being able to cross state lines using their right to keep and bear arms. Why should it end at a state line, the ability to protect yourself? The bottom line is it shouldn't. Well, Congressman Hudson joins us now here on NRATV. Congressman, thanks for sharing some time with us.
Great to be with you.
So I know you introduced this last year. We've got it up again. What are the chances of getting reciprocity passed?
I think we've got a good chance. We've got a president now who campaigned on this issue. Donald Trump's committed to Second Amendment rights, and particularly with concealed carry. And, I think getting this through the House, the Senate has always been the challenge. But with 10 Democrat senators running for re-election in states that Donald Trump carried, I think the president can be a huge help in terms of getting this through the Senate and to his desk.
Well, I think it's clear that Donald Trump's election, in large part, was due to gun owners coming out and showing support for pro-gun policies. And I'm hopeful that those swing state Democratic senators will get the message that if they want to win elections, they better be on the side of the Second Amendment.
Amen. And I think a lot of them actually want to vote for this type of laws. You look at Manchin in West Virginia, Heitkamp in North Dakota, Donnelly in Indiana. I think these folks would actually probably like to vote for this legislation. Maybe Donald Trump will help them do what they want to do anyway.
Congressman, what are people across the country telling you about this patchwork of laws from state to state? I mean, some states, you go across their state lines, they'll put you in jail just for carrying a firearm in your car.
Absolutely. And, the worst story that we've heard a few years ago was the single mother in South Philly who had been robbed twice. She worked in a job that required her to be out late at night. She'd been victimized twice, and so she went and got a concealed carry permit. A few weeks later was driving across the state line into New Jersey. They threw her, and when the cop pulled her over, she did everything you should do legally. She handed her driver's license with her concealed carry permit, informed the officer that she was a concealed carry, and had a weapon in the vehicle. And you know what they did? They put her in jail for 40 days, and she was looking at 5 years in prison. But thankfully, Governor Chris Christie pardoned her before that happened.
Yeah, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the same prosecutor that put her in jail that let Ray Rice go for beating up his girlfriend at the time in that elevator. The same prosecutor puts that woman protecting herself in jail. Exactly
right. And that's why it's so important we get this concealed carry reciprocity done, is to protect law-abiding citizens who are trying to do the right thing from prosecutors like this who, we all know Ray Rice knocked out his girlfriend and got a slap on the wrist. This was a liberal with a beef, and we've got to protect law-abiding citizens.
Hey, Congressman Hudson, I know you are on Donald Trump's Second Amendment coalition in Congress. What's some of the other work that you're going to be trying to do?
Well, I've focused very narrowly on this particular issue, but there's a whole lot of issues that are important to those of us that care about the Second Amendment, whether it's the ability to have sound reduction devices on our weapons. There's a whole lot of issues, being able to travel and transport your weapons through airports. I mean, there's a lot of issues out there where you've got activist liberals trying to infringe on our rights that we need to stand up to, and I'm excited about what we can achieve with President Donald Trump.
Do you think the Democrats that are standing up against you are playing this game for their constituents, or do they actually have a hatred towards firearms and people who own guns?
It's hard to say, and it may vary from person to person, but most of the opposition that we face, I think, is ignorance driven by liberals who try to make people afraid. You hear the emotional arguments of, if all these people carrying guns, what's going to happen? But if you look at the real evidence in states where concealed carry, even in states like Vermont, where you don't even need a permit, whereby they recognize the fact that we all probably believe, I certainly believe, that you have a God-given right to carry a weapon any way you want. But in a state like Vermont, where you don't have to have a permit, as more people have started carrying concealed, we've seen less crime. And so the facts, even using the FBI's crime statistics, don't bear out these fear-mongering that we hear from the left. But there's a lot of emotion there. And so we've just got to use the facts, and we've got to do a good job of messaging to the American people.
I saw a statistic from the Crime Prevention Research Center that concealed handgun license holders commit crimes at a lower rate than police officers. And the rate that police officers commit crimes is less than 0.01%. So you're talking about some of the safest people on earth, and research has proven that you are safer when CHL holders are around you. So I'm hopeful you're successful getting this bill through.
Well, I'm counting on your listeners and the people out there watching us today. They need, I would ask you, please contact your members of Congress, contact your U.S. senators, and ask them to co-sponsor this legislation. Tell them how important it is to you. We're over 111 co-sponsors, and we're only a week in since I've introduced this bill. That's great progress, but we need up over 200.
Congressman, last question for you. Do you have any bipartisan support on this in the House?
We do. Among our I filed this bill with 63 co-sponsors. 2 of them were Democrats, Colin Peterson from Minnesota and Henry Cuellar from Texas. We're hoping to get more. This obviously is not a partisan issue. Certainly, I've got a lot of Democrats I represent back in North Carolina who care about this issue.
Well, Congressman Hudson, we appreciate the work you're doing there. We appreciate you sharing some time with us. It's busy times in Washington, but some exciting times as well. Go make it happen for us.
Well, thank you to NRATV for what you do to help create that groundswell support that we need to get it done.
Well, it's our pleasure, Congressman. Again, thank you. And we are going to be pushing this bill through as much as we can to get the members of the NRA and all gun owners to go out there and support it. Hey, I'm Grant Stinchfield for NRATV. Thanks for watching.